Hi everyone, it's Rob back for another video. I hope everyone's keeping really well out there. So this is my first finds video of the year. This is my second attempt at filming this. I filmed one last night, laboured over it for about 25 minutes and went to upload it and it just failed basically. But I think I've got a bit of a storage problem on my phone. So not thinking for 1 minute the upload would fail, just that it would, as it normally does, just take quite a long time to upload because the internet we've got is quite slow here. I deleted it. So of course, lo and behold, I get a message an hour or two later to say that the upload had failed, and I thought, great, I've got to start again. So here I am anyway. Yeah, I'm going to make this try and make this a more abridged version of that video, and really try and rattle through these. So yeah, without further ado, just a bit of context. I've got two lots of things to show. The first is some VCLT, which I'll show first, and then I shall show some records that I picked up from Ben's on Saturday. Now, as some of you are aware, I've mentioned on a couple of my previous videos that I've sort of reached capacity, as it were, in terms of ability to be able to store vinyl, sort of collections kind of bulging at the seams. Yeah, I've spent an awful lot on vinyl last year, so I thought I'm going to obviously curb that to a certain extent. Yeah, but obviously I still want to buy vinyl, just maybe not in the volume or the quantity that I was buying it before. But obviously to get more I had to make room, so I've sorted out about 80, 90 albums, some of which are duplicates, some I haven't listened to for years, some I basically just don't like. I thought instead of just trying to sell them separately, which is the only way that you're ever going to realize the true value, I thought I'll just do an exchange or sell them to a dealer. I thought, well, I may as well do that through Ben, because he's always done me good deals in the past, and I hadn't seen him for a while. So yeah, I took sort of small stack, I guess, I can't remember how many, 15, 20 albums, something like that. Yeah, we came to a price. He gave me a cash price, which I asked if he could do a bit better on. So as a compromise, he gave me a deal on store credit, which was about 30, 40 quid more than what he offered me in cash. So I thought, yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer, because I was going to spend the money there probably anyway. So I think I got eight albums. So yeah, I'll rattle through those. Okay. No, actually, first I'm going to do the VCLT. So, okay, so yeah, I got messaged earlier in the month from Stephen Alexander, who some of you may know as Psych, got a VC channel, Psych in the Valleys. Great guy. I met up with him a couple of summers ago. And yeah, he's just we stay in touch and message each other every now and again. And yeah, he showed Seeds album, I think on one of his most recent videos, and it was an original, which obviously he'd been looking for. And I just commented that I hadn't been able to find a copy of that album. And so, yeah, he messaged me and said, would I like the reissue? And I said, well, yes, absolutely. And yeah, lo and behold, he asked for my address, and a few days later, it arrived. So yeah, fantastic. Seeds Weather Sound, a debut album. Fantastic. I'm sure everybody knows this is garage, classic kind of garage rock with a psych twist. I think from 1967, is it? I think. Yeah, with the lead vocal, the wonderful Sky Saxon. And it's just every cut is just wonderful, just really short, punchy songs with just a lot of kind of punky energy. Just lovely feel though. Mr. Farmer starts off Pictures and Design, wonderful. Rolling Machine, and then the two tracks, A Long Chuck Up in a Room on side 2. It's kind of a bit more fleshed out, a bit more jammy, but still wonderful on that Crescendo label. And it's an early reissue because there's no barcode, so, and it sounds wonderful. So I'm delighted to finally have a copy of that in my collection. So thank you, Stephen. But it didn't stop there. He also got me this, which was a surprise. This is the Ace Story, and this is volume 1. So this is a series of records from Ace Records vaults. So this is kind of a lot of early kind of rock and roll, R&B, and so on from the early to late 50s, early to mid 60s. I think there's a series about 5 or 6 of these. I've never owned any of them, so I was delighted to get this. Yeah, and there's some lovely songs. Sea Cruise, G Baby, fantastic one there. Some wonderful harmonies. I really like that one. There's the Supremes, Joe Text, Bobby Martian. Yeah, it's great stuff. Some songs I was familiar with, quite a few though that I wasn't. So really enjoyed spinning that one. And then he also sent me a 45, and he said to turn this. He gave me the instruction of turning this up loud, and it'd be something that my mother would appreciate. Yeah, and this is Night of the Vampire by the Moon Trekkers. So this is a kind of Joe Meek production, early 60s, with those kind of wonderful bells and whistles, sound effects and strange sounds that only Joe Meek as a producer could muster up. And lovely, yeah, wonderful. I mean, I don't collect 45s particularly, but I was very, very pleased to get this. It leaps out of the speakers and sounds absolutely wonderful. So yeah, thank you very much, Stephen. Really, really appreciated that. Very, very kind. And I will be reciprocating. Probably when he least expects it, but there you go. Okay, so let's get into the what I picked up from Ben. So yeah, just run through those quite quickly now. So this first one was a blind buy. This is an Italian 80s prog band called Implosion. And this is 2 guys, Gianni Rossati and Stefano Focacci, who are responsible for the instrumentation within. And it's a kind of double album, not an actual proper release, but more a kind of collecting together of recordings that they did from home between, I think, 1983 and 1989. So yeah, quite a bit of quite proggy, quite instrumental in places. There's a few vocal tracks on here, but yeah, there's a very, very strong Canterbury feel, particularly kind of Caravan, Land of Grey and Pink, that kind of feel, but not quite as quirky, perhaps. And and it says in the notes that they're big fans of Canterbury rock, that period of rock from the sort of early mid 70s, and yeah, make a few references to that and kind of Robert Wyatt and so on. So yeah, definitely in my wheelhouse. Some nice illustrations there. Obviously the cover art kind of was intriguing and drew me in. This is actually a record store day release from 2020, limited edition, but it wasn't expensive, so I was happy to give it a go. And yeah, I've only actually played the first record so far, but it's an enjoyable listen. And being Italian prog, I dare say it would be on Pete's Sounds from the West Coast radar. If he hasn't already got it, I think that would probably be one that would quite interest him. So, okay, next one I was really pleased with. Paid up a little bit for this, but say with the credit that I had, I was very happy to do it. So it didn't kind of cost me anything. But this is one from Ben's collection, which he was kind of letting go because he's also trimming down a bit. So this is the wonderful Keith Christmas, and this is his third studio album, Pygmy, from 1971. So yeah, sort of singer-songwriter, folk artist. Really, really lovely album. Of the first three albums that I've heard, this is definitely my favourite one, and I think it's certainly got the best arrangements and orchestrations on, courtesy of Robert Kirby, who of course famously worked with Nick Drake on his arrangements. And yeah, what a lovely, lovely listen. Really, really nice songs. Lovely feel. Got Rod Argent playing on it. Calvin Samuels on bass. Yeah, and it's just wonderfully engineered, lovely sounding record. I remember he had it before, and I always kind of regretted not picking it up the first time. So I was very pleased to get an opportunity this time around to snag it. And he said one consolation with selling it to the likes of me rather than a tourist or a passing stranger is that if I ever decide to sell it, he'd be first in line to reacquire it. So yeah, but very happy with that one for now anyway. So okay, next one, another blind buy, but very familiar with the artist. This is a K-Scope from Manzanar, or more specifically Phil Manzanar, of course, from Roxy Music fame, the guitarist with Roxy Music, or as he still was with the band from '78. I think there might have been in a bit of a sabbatical period now, I think, between albums. But yeah, this is, I still haven't actually played this, to be honest with you. But I've seen it in his shop lots of times. Fairly unremarkable in a sleeve there. But lots of really interesting musicians playing on this, which caught my eye. So Simon Phillips on drums, session drummer, Mel Collins as well on sax. Wonderful Lol Cream from 10cc playing the Gizmo, which I think they were marketing at the time. Paul Thompson, of course, his fellow Roxy Music bandmate, also adding drums. And yeah, just really looking forward to giving this one a listen. It's on Polydor, but on a kind of custom label there. This was really cheap, so very pleased to pick it up, and it's in really good condition, sleeve and record. So yeah, definitely looking forward to giving that one a spin. And then strangely enough, I was commenting on Rich McCook, one of his best of videos, and he was doing a ranking video for years, and he showed a Brinsley Schwarz album, and I commented that I haven't found any Brinsley Schwarz, and then lo and behold, thumbing through on Saturday at Ben's, I managed to find this, and it was very cheap, so I picked it up. So this is Brinsley Schwarz Golden Greats on United Artists. So this is a compilation from 1974, which is a kind of, I guess, a retrospective of some of their hits and cuts from their studio albums. I think this probably, I'm not altogether too sure, but I would wager that it probably came out after they'd split, because I think their last album was in 74. Some nice custom label there, in really nice condition. This was really, really cheap, so very happy to get that. Some really nice songs. They kind of mix it up a bit with a kind of country and sort of pub rock kind of feel, but not as hard as someone like Dr. Feelgood. Not as kind of not quite as frenetic as that. But yeah, the opener, Shining Brightly, wonderful. I think from their first album, 1970, very kind of Crosby, Stills, Nash feel. Lovely harmonies going on there. Juju Man, Nightingales, lovely. Some more kind of boogie blues stuff on the second side. Surrenders to the Rhythm, Happy Doing What We're Doing, Hypocrite. Yeah, nice to finally have some of their stuff in the collection. And yeah, so yeah, I don't like it as much as probably Nick Lowe's solo stuff or Rockpile, but it's certainly a decent listen. So happy with that. Okay, another one to add to the Procol Harum collection. This is one of the twofers that I was missing. I've got a few of these now from the Move and T-Rex, one or two others. I've got the other Procol Harum one, which was Salty Dog and White Shaded Pale. This one is Shine On Brightly and Home. So this is their second and is it fourth album, I think, from 68 and 1970 respectively. So yeah, you've got Shine On Brightly, Quite Rightly So, Wish Me Well, Magdalene My Regular Zonophone. And then I think Home's a little bit more kind of bluesy, I think. But in lovely condition. Come on, these kind of these cube fly sleeves. And yeah, I often see Procol Harum their early output. The albums are usually either beaten up or they're in good condition and quite expensive, the originals. So this is a kind of really inexpensive way to get these albums, and they're pressed really well. All the ones I've got in this twofer series sound very, very good, so happy with that. Okay, Jefferson Airplane album that I can't believe I haven't owned up until now. I have sort of kept an eye out for it, for one at the right price, an early pressing, and this kind of fitted the bill. So this is Surrealistic Pillow, the second album. This is an early 70s pressing. Sleeves got a bit of a tear there, but the vinyl's in nice condition now on RCA. So we got My Best Friend, 3/5 of a Mile in 10 Seconds, which is fabulous. The wonderful instrumental Embryonic Journey, which I love. And then obviously the big hit that Grace Slick brought with her, brought to the party, Somebody to Love, fantastic. Yeah, really, really happy to get a copy of that. Sticking with the 60s vibe, another Beach Boys album I needed for the collection. This is a 68 UK stereo copy. This is Wild Honey. Really pleased to get this. That was previously owned by Marilyn. There you go. So yeah, a little bit of writing on the back, but the cover's pretty good. It's kind of laminate, so it's always give it a wipe on that Rainbow Capital label. Really nice condition. Slowly getting all the early Beach Boys albums, just sort of pick them up ad hoc as and when I see them in the right condition at the right price. So yeah, a couple of really great songs off this. Obviously the big hit Darling, the title track Wild Honey's great. Some lovely deep cuts as well with I Was Made to Love Her and How She Boogalooed It. Fantastic. Fabulous record. Okay, completely different now. This is a reissue of an album that I remember hearing at my friend's house back in the 80s, who was a big electronic fan, sort of minimalist music and so on. This is a reissue of Sequencer by Synergy. And this is, I think, this is the basically Larry Fast, who's the composer and kind of sequencer maestro. Always really liked this record, especially the opener Escape I really liked. So this is kind of, I guess it's like Tangerine Dream but on steroids from what I can remember. So just very upbeat, really quite symphonic, I think, in places. Just really, really enjoyed it. This is an original. This is a repress on Sire Records or Passport Records. I think the original was a gatefold with a kind of landscaped cover. But yeah, don't see that very often, so pleased to pick that one up. Okay, and then finally, a record that I've been looking for a long time. It's not in the slightest bit rare, or I didn't think it was hard to come by, but I just never seen it. So it was on Facebook with the Windham Hill site, and a guy showed this record, and a friend of mine commented on it that he had it, and it was indeed where I first heard it. So this is Andreas Vollenweider, and this is, I think, his second album, Cavera Magika, from 1983. So yeah, Andreas Vollenweider, German harp player. Is he German or is he Swiss? I'm not altogether too sure. Somebody's bound to correct me in the comments, I'm sure, about that. But yeah, nevertheless, lovely sounding record, very kind of soporific, dreamlike, lovely late night record. It's not the kind of thing that's going to blow you away or you know, kind of blow your socks off, but it's just a really nice listen. And I'm very pleased to have finally picked up a copy of it, albeit a brand new reissue from online. So, but it was very, very reasonable. So I was happy to get that. Okay, so that's it, guys. Hopefully this will upload, As I said, I think I might have a bit of a storage problem, which I'm going to have to maybe address. So yeah, hopefully this will go up tonight, if not tomorrow. But if it doesn't go up, I ain't doing it again. Twice is enough for me. So there you go. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, hopefully I'll do another video sometime soon. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves and all the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.